The young man sitting to my right, to the left on your screen, is the coach of the now two-time, back-to-back Southern Conference women's tennis champs, heading back to the NCAA Tournament. This is Adam Herendeen. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, thank you for coming back and spending some time with us again. I want to let folks get a look at this picture. Look at that group right there. That's a happy group of folks right there, isn't it?
That's a group that played a pretty darn good match on Sunday.
Yeah, I saw what beat the number 2 seed ETSU 4-1.
That's right. But the score probably doesn't do it justice. We beat them 4-3 in the regular season, and we're actually down match point. One of our seniors saved a match point when we beat them at their place. So we were expecting an absolute dogfight, and the doubles was very, very close. And then we came out and won 5 out of 6 first sets, and it was kind of just one-way traffic from that point on. The girls just played phenomenal.
That's great. That is absolutely fantastic. Just kind of give us an overview of how the season went, how you got to your second straight conference championship.
Sure. Well, we felt we had a chance to be better than we were last year. We had a good group of returning players and 2 good freshmen. And early in the year, we played a much bigger schedule than we played last year. We felt that our seeding in the NCAAs could have been a lot better if we played a better schedule. So we played a big schedule. And unfortunately, we lost a lot of close matches to really good teams. And I would categorize the beginning of the season as a little disappointing. We had injuries, and we just lost some tough matches. But you could tell that this group was fighting and was going to figure it out. And man, did they save their best for when it mattered most in the conference tournament. And I'm just really, really proud of them. They just kept getting better. They worked super hard all year, and just a special effort on Sunday from them.
So you didn't win those early matches in the ramped-up schedule, but as the season went on, do you feel like playing those helped you?
Absolutely. Every coach talks about the process, and it's not about the results. And obviously we're preaching that, but it's a little disappointing when you go all the way to Illinois and you play very well, but Illinois ends up being 7 in the nation and beats you. You go, man, what are we doing? And but it really helped our girls. And if you really watched, I talked to some people that were at our conference tournament last week, and they said what stood out about our girls compared to the other teams is just how well our girls competed. And we talk about controlling their emotions. Obviously, tennis is a very frustrating sport, and our girls just compete really, really at a high level. And they compete every day. I went through our schedule right before the conference tournament, and I was kind of looking for where did we play a bad match? Where was I really upset with the girls that, hey, we did not play very well? And I went through it, and obviously we had some matches where we missed opportunities, but we didn't play a bad match all year. We got beat by teams I don't think we should have lost to, but we came ready to play every day and competed our tails off every day. And if you do that, you're going to have an enjoyable season. And man, it was a lot of fun.
Isn't that a typical coach? You have all this great success, and you're looking for, man, what can I get on these girls?
That's right.
About, right?
That's right. I couldn't find anything. I was looking for that little bit of motivation for the tournament. They didn't need it, I guess.
That's great. Tell us about the you talked about having some changeover in the roster, but you also had some experience and some leadership. Who provided the necessary leadership?
I mean, I think it starts with our 2 seniors, Erin Green, who came in last year as a transfer and played really good doubles, but would probably say she was a little disappointed with her singles. And man, she was having an unbelievable year. And actually, you have a special group. Last year we had a lot of things go our way. This year, it felt like we had a lot of things not go our way. Every single girl had battled injuries and sickness, and the number of times we put our top 6 players on the court was not a very high number. And, one of them was our senior, Erin Green. She was having an unbelievable year, playing some phenomenal tennis. She clinched a big match against DePaul for us, which was a really fun one. And then she went down with an injury, and we only had her for doubles for the conference tournament. But her and her partner clinched the doubles point for us. And Gabby Rodriguez, our other senior, had her best year by far, and she clinched the regular season title. Like I said earlier, she was down match point against East Tennessee State. She was down 5-1 in the 3rd set tiebreaker against East Tennessee State and came all the way back and won it 8-6 in just a crazy match. And so it starts with those 2. But, Katerina Kozarov, she played 4 singles for us last year and played 1 singles and 1 doubles this year and was player of the year in the league. Danny Vine's coming back after being freshman of the year. Came up huge this weekend. Didn't play her best tennis all year, but this weekend she was just a huge highlight for us and a big reason we were successful. So just a lot of people stepping up, and it was really fun to be a part of.
Yeah, in fact, as I've got pulled up on on my screen here from FurmanPaladins.com, Danny Vines was just chosen the Women's Tennis Player of the Week in the SoCon. All she did was go 3-0 and did not drop a single set.
And well, she was Student Athlete of the Week for all sports.
Yeah.
And as far back as we can tell, we can't find a time that we've gotten that award. So that's a big award, and she was just phenomenal. We actually changed our doubles pairs in the semifinals because of injuries. Our senior Aaron Green was out, and so that doesn't happen very often. We went back to a doubles lineup that we hadn't played since spring break, and her and her partner Caddy Weymouth were phenomenal in that final. They won 6-4, and she just had a great week and played absolutely fantastic this weekend.
And I don't want people to kind of miss that a little bit, and I'll let you kind of explain it, because really in any sport, in any kind of a competition where you're working with a partner, there's got to be a certain level of communication.
That's right.
And experience in working together. And if that hadn't happened since prior to spring break, I would imagine that was a concern for you.
Absolutely. And it was, I'm not big on gut instinct, but we were playing pretty good doubles early in the year. We went to the ITA kickoff weekend at the University of Georgia, and we played Penn, who was highly ranked nationally, and we just stomped them in doubles. And then when we had injuries and all these things happened, we ended up changing pairs, and we had a couple of our girls that played one doubles in and out. And so if you look at our doubles lineup the last couple of weeks, it's constantly changing, which is not exactly ideal. But Caddy and Danny had a really good year last year. They were 16-1 last year and were nationally ranked to start this year. So we knew that was a pair we could come back to. But they actually played together in the quarterfinals and were in a lot of trouble when the doubles point got clinched. So I think it just shows how tough those girls are, that they can just come back. And like I said, in that final, they played absolutely fantastic. And it just was, we all kind of felt this is what we needed to do. It's not normal to not play the same doubles lineup for so long. But we knew that our one doubles pair of Katerina Kozarov and Aaron Green was going to be great. And Danny and Caddy just had so much success and they just played awesome. So
how long does it take a good doubles partnership to develop that kind of on-court chemistry?
It just depends, and so much of it's trust, and it comes and it goes. And I think if we're looking at how the year went, I think they actually lost a couple of really tough, tight matches, and that's when we actually made the change to split them up. But they just have a high level of trust in each other, and some of it's just how their games complement each other. Caddy's very, very good from the baseline, and Danny's probably one of the best net players around. And so we know when we get in that formation, we're going to be successful. And so it's our job just to get into that formation as much as possible. But sometimes it happens overnight. You throw them out there and you go, hey, that's a good pair. And sometimes it takes time. But that's a pair that's always been strong for us.
This is Adam Herendeen. He is the head coach of the women's tennis program here. Just wrapped up their second consecutive Southern Conference championship and the 18th in the school's history.
Right.
So you've come in here and in your short time here continued what's been a pretty daunting legacy to walk into.
That's right. And, what's fun about it is last year we had shirts made that had a big 17 on the front, and the girls thought it was 17 because it was 2017. But it was also our 17th, conference tournament title. So I told them we got to get shirts again that say 18. So we have there's a really high standard right now because our goal is to win it every year so that we can keep getting shirts that say the year that we won it, but also the number of championships it is. So hopefully this year we'll get shirts that say 18, and hopefully next year we can get 19.
And save shirts, save budgeting money on the shirts because
That's right.
It serves both purposes.
That's right. Exactly.
Hey, tell me about the year. You mentioned that sophomore Katerina Kozarov was the 2018 SoCon Player of the Year. Tell me about the year she had.
She last year played 3 and 4 singles for us and 3 doubles, and had, for a freshman, had a very, very good year. But we knew there was more there with her. I mean, she's a very hard worker, very coachable, and she came to summer school. We actually had 4 girls in summer school this summer, which is a lot for tennis, and just had an awesome summer. And you knew she was going to have a really good year, but it was probably at the Furman Fall Classic this year. We renamed it to the Debbie Southern Fall Classic, where she won her flight in singles and doubles. And that's when we went, hey, man, this is going to be an exciting year. And that's when her game really went to the next level. And even still going into the spring, I think she's 18-5. I don't think a lot of people expected that, but she just works so hard, and for her to get to clinch the final was fantastic, and she clinched it on a winner. Usually these matches are won on long points where someone's just trying not to miss, but that's not we call her KK. That's not how KK plays. She went for it and hit a winner, and so it's just a special year, but it's just hard work paying off, so.
Well, it's also good recruiting, right?
Yep. Well, she actually was my first recruit when we got here.
There you go.
So that one definitely means a lot, and just a good kid and hard worker, and she still has a lot of room to improve, and we're excited about that. To have a sophomore that's player of the year is really exciting because we think there's still a lot of room for her game to develop.
How was this year for you compared to last year? I don't know if overwhelming would be the right word last year, but you have to be more comfortable in year 2.
Well, so this is actually year 3. So
Year 3,
the first
okay.
year we won the regular season, but we did not win the tournament.
Right, okay.
And we knew going into last year we had a special team, and you're returning, Ansley Speaks, a 2-time player of the year in the conference. There's a lot more certainty, I would say, with last year. Even though KK and Danny played 3 and 4 as freshmen, anybody in the tennis world could tell you at 3 and 4, that's pretty darn good. And you return Caddy Weymouth, who was freshman year. So last year it felt like a lot more certainty. This year you graduated what at that point was a 3-time player of the year. And it's a little more of, okay, who's going to play one and who's going to go where in the lineup. And then you start the year playing bigger teams and you lose a little more than we did last year. And you're kind of uncertain, but this group just kept working. And it's I know it's so simple, but every day they came to work, and the number of times that we left practice and I said that wasn't the standard. Early on was maybe a little too often, but down the stretch, I mean, it was just every day having a good day at practice and working hard. And so I would say this year was definitely a lot more uncertainty, even though we had won it the year before. Mm-hmm. But when everybody on the team gets a little bit better, it's gonna result in a great year.
So you go undefeated in Southern Conference play during the regular season. That's hard to do.
It is, and obviously ETSU was the second seed going into the tournament, and we knew they had some injuries early on, and so lost some matches maybe they shouldn't have lost. But we knew going to that regular season match it was going to be an absolute dogfight, and it certainly was. And then if you look at their scores in the tournament, they were much more impressive than ours. I mean, they beat Samford in the semifinals in about an hour and a half. And I saw those scores, and I'm not usually one to look at that, but I'm like, wow, like, are they playing that well? And they were playing that well, and our girls just stepped up and beat what I think is a very, very good ETSU team.
So now you're kind of playing the waiting game.
Right.
Coming up next week on May the 1st, you will find out your opponent. The first round of the NCAA championships are on campus sites, right?
That's correct. So typically it's seeded regionally. So last year we went to North Carolina. Last year we actually just missed being seeded 3 instead of 4, which instead of like basketball, they seed 1 through 16. Tennis, they do 16-1, 16-2, 16-3s, and 16-4s. So we'll be right on that bubble of a 3 and a 4 again. And we'll likely go somewhere in the southeast, but in theory you could go anywhere. So we'll find out next Tuesday.
So no chance of hosting in your mind.
No chance of hosting, but the University of South Carolina doesn't have indoor courts, and they will be hosting. So it's possible that they could send us to South Carolina. If it rains, we'd be coming right back home to Furman, which would be kind of neat. But I that's obviously a long shot, but that would be pretty neat.
Very rarely will you hear a baseball guy say, "Let's pray for rain." But if that's the draw, let's pray for rain.
That's right. As a tennis guy, we'll say let's pray for rain because we got a great facility here, and it'd be kind of fun to get to play at home for the NCAAs.
What's the plan as far as watching the selection show?
Well, last year we actually did our banquet after the selection show, and it was kind of neat. I mean, obviously celebrating a great year, and we had so many friends of our program and alumni come to our selection show. So we thought, why not just do our awards ceremony right afterwards? So that's open for anybody that wants to come. So we'll do the same thing. It'll be at 5:00. The selection show is actually very quick for tennis. And then afterwards, I'll talk a little bit about the season and hand out a couple of awards and not anything too major. I mean, we're still playing. It's a little unique to do your awards banquet while you're still playing, but whenever the NCAA's does end, obviously the girls are all going home. So we did that last year, and it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of people come out, so it was great.
Where will it be?
It'll be in the Pierce Horton football room here at Paladin Stadium, and it's a really nice venue to have something like that. We had the golf selection show yesterday, and just a nice venue and open for anybody that wants to come.
Sounds like you're all fired up, man.
We are fired up. Yeah, it's been a great year, and our motto, one of our mottos has been the best is yet to come. And I just think we have an incredible history. So many girls that have helped us grow our program here. But we're still just getting going, and we think we can keep getting a lot better.
Now, my next question is how are you remaining so positive and so upbeat with a new baby?
Well, so that's called caffeine. Yeah, we had a new baby. Was born 2 weeks ago, and the sleep has been a little bit on the lower side, which I guess that shows what a trooper my wife is to let me get a little bit of sleep so we can finish our season well. But it's been a hectic couple weeks, that's for sure.
Second child, right?
Second child. We had our first one in February of my first season here, and then we had this one obviously 2 weeks ago, so April here. And I think the timing could be a little bit better, but we got great support from our families to help with the baby, and so I've told the girls the last couple weeks I've got two priorities: finishing our season well and taking care of the family. That's about it. If it's outside of those two things, I'm not probably doing it right now.
This is probably a better question for your wife, but it seems like a pattern has developed now. So will there be more Herendeens every other season coming along?
I mean, we had a baby. We won a regular season. We had a baby. We won a regular season at a tournament. So I mean, if that's the trend, I think I could be talked into it. But two's good for now, I think.
I hear you. All right, so just kind of tell people again time, place, so we can get some folks out for the selection show.
5 o'clock on Tuesday. I believe that's May 1st.
Yeah.
Is that right? In the Pierce Horton football room, and we'll have some light snacks, and the team will be there. The selection show will be right at 5 o'clock. We'll get to find out where we go, which last year we were actually, on the very last line. I'm starting to worry. Are we in? Did I miss something? So who knows? We could be anywhere in the draw, but then we'll do a brief award ceremony afterwards, honor some of our players, and that'll be it.
Sounds fun, man. Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Again,
Thanks for having me.
On another phenomenal season, and let's go make some noise in the big dance.
That's our plan. Thanks so much.
That is Adam Herendeen, the women's tennis coach here at Furman University.